thing, shall we? This time I'm going to turn my sound on. So here's the thing. I ended it abruptly because I had to run and be a dad. But it's all good. Everything's fine. Are we live? Yeah, we're live. Why is this thing not playing? There it goes. Yeah, so I had to be a dad for a minute. That comes first above anything else. Yeah, but I do want to finish these dumpsters. I don't like leaving things unfinished. I did kind of a halfway job of cleaning out my airbrush because I had to run inside. But should be fine to just carry on now. And then we'll clean it out for real. So I think because of this color is turning out, like now that I've let it dry, I've got alcohol all over my hands. Now that I've let it dry, the color is a little bit lighter than I want, but I might just come in with a black when I do the roof and just kind of dust some black over everything. Because you can do that with an airbrush. It's pretty cool. Just kind of thin it. This is all an experiment, but I want to find a way where I can streamline these things so that you guys can get dumpsters for a nice, affordable price. Because the more time I have to spend on them, the more time I kind of have to charge for it to be worth my time doing, you know? Yeah. But we'll just do a coat of paint on the rest of these and see how they look. Got a couple people coming back in. Are you guys here? Who's here? Derek's probably here. Only he would have said something by now. Derek's the MVP of the evening. Okay, we're all set back up. I really gotta get a airbrush holder. So I have somewhere to put this thing down when I'm not using it. These are the ones that are done. These are the ones that are not. Hey, John. Welcome, welcome. You missed it earlier. I was doing some printing of some HO scale dumpsters. The print absolutely failed miserably. But I have some from before that I'm just painting up, and I'm pretty excited about it. Let me move this in a little closer if I can. That'll work. all good, John. Nice of you to pop in. I mean, I was technically live for 4 hours before, but most of that was literally just sitting watching my printer work. I wasn't even in the garage, and then I came on for a little bit and did some painting. So I figured I would just start it again since I'm out here. I'm not going to do this every time I'm out here, but kind of nice to have the company. Me too, actually. I saw some blue ones the other day though, and that just kind of tripped me up. But not like the navy blue that you see sometimes, but like electric blue. It was some one-off company that like rents. I guess that's the thing when you get into like the bin rentals for like job sites and stuff. Um, it can be any color because they want to stand out, right? I've seen some orange ones and yellow ones and like lime green ones and like all kinds of craziness. But I think hunter green is a pretty standard color for dumpsters across the continent. So that's what I'm gonna do. If you want something custom, you can order it from me. Otherwise, you're gonna get green. Yes, sir. I do enjoy that. Hey, Kevin. What's going on, man? Yeah, Kevin, it's been a long time coming, but I finally am actually airbrushing on the channel. I was not planning on doing it live for the first time, but especially not in a random cardboard box, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do and hope it sticks. So that's what we're doing. Ooh, that was a little much. a spot to put this. It's driving me nuts. I need a little cradle of some kind for my airbrush. What I really want to get into on the channel is airbrush weathering, because that is fun. I don't do it a lot, but it's quite cool. These little bins look really good. Thanks, man. Thank you a lot. I like them. I can't wait to get them on some people's layouts. I think airbrushing is definitely a lifesaver when it comes to this, because A, it's quick, it's precise, and it gives a really flat and even base coat. And then you can do all the graffiti and weathering from there. All right, John, take care, man. Drive safe. I assume you drove. I don't know. Maybe you flew. But travel safe. And, yeah. Been keeping your eye on a good airbrush setup. I can recommend anything from Iwata or... Oh, who makes the Neo? I think that's also Iwata. But the Iwata Neo is great. I have the HB. It's nice, but it's old. I don't know that they make it anymore. But you can find a pretty good deal on one on Amazon, I'm pretty sure. And then get yourself a little compressor. The one I have is kind of a no-name generic brand. I know you guys, you'd have to find an equivalent in the States, but in Canada, Canadian Tire, you can get like a store brand one. It's the same as, it's exactly the same as the one I have, but it's branded for Canadian Tire. We have it at work. We use it constantly, and it just keeps going. It won't quit. So yeah, I know some people, they use like the aerosol cans instead of an airbrush, or instead of an air compressor or whatever, but I like this thing because it's pretty quiet. I mean, you guys could be the judge of that because you're listening to it on a live stream, but I haven't had any complaints, really. Haven't had any noise complaints, especially. It works well. Sorry, don't mind me. I'm just switching. I'm switching to black. So I'm just trying to flush out the airbrush a little bit. So one thing I do need to get is a proper like cleaning cup. Like, you know, those waste cups that you spray into. I want to get one of those. This will work for now. Definitely have to look into that. Hobby Lobby has airbrushes and compressors. I thought about checking at Harbor Freight, but I've learned that the ones from Harbor Freight aren't good. You know what it is? I bought like a super generic compressor, and it came with an airbrush. It was the kit, and I think it was like, I mean, I bought it at a train show, so it probably wasn't brand new. It was new in the box, but it was secondhand. And I think I paid like $120 for it or something like that. And I never really used the brush, like the airbrush, because it's not a fantastic airbrush, but it's worth that for the compressor all day long. So I just got it for the compressor, and then I have a decent airbrush. I will say I don't like that I have this tiny little paint cup. It's not very big, but it does the job. And down the road, I want to get another airbrush, and I'm looking at one that has a removable cup, and it has 2 sizes. So if you need to get into a tighter area or something like that, then you can use the smaller cup, but otherwise you can have a nice big cup. Holds a lot more paint. Now I'm not masking anything, I'm just painting right over, because any overspray is just going to look a little bit like weathering, and I'm not too worried about that. If it doesn't look good, then I won't do it again. But I like the look of that. Yeah. I mean, it looks a little bit like grime. I don't know. You tell me. What do you think of that? I'm happy. Just accidental weathering. Accidental weathering on purpose. I'll have to look at the train show this coming weekend and see if someone happens to be selling one. That one was that was a fluke. I bought it like 3 years ago, I think. No, it was pre-COVID actually. So that was a while ago. But yeah, it was a good deal. But honestly, just look for like a. If I find one, man, I'll do a short and I'll put a link. But yeah, get yourself a decent airbrush specific compressor, because then you know it's going to be quiet. It's going to work for what it needs to work for. It doesn't take up a lot of space, and then spend your money on a brush instead of on the compressor itself. But a good airbrush is going to last you a long time if you take care of it. That's the kicker. You got to take care of it. Heck yeah. Oh, that's what's happening. I'm getting air coming out even though I'm not. I need to replace this needle. I'm getting paint coming out even though I'm not pulling back the 2-stage. That's better. Yeah, that's more like it. I'm thrilled with that. Whoops, I don't want to spill paint all over. Oh! It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Just a bit of weathering. But like, come on. I'm thrilled with that. I dropped it and it got a little bit of paint chip on the corner, but I can touch that up. Yeah, that's more like it. I love when stuff starts to look like reality but miniature. That's the whole purpose of doing this. I know that sounds really dumb to say. It's like, oh, I love making really small stuff. That's why I do the hobby. But when you get something that looks like reality that you can hold in your hand, it's just so fascinating to me. That's one of the reasons why I love my job. When I take an ordinary, everyday item and I make it massive, it's so satisfying. Knocked her over. I don't want to knock you over. I just want to touch up that back bit of the lid. And any overspray I'm not concerned with because it's just going to be weathering. Man, there's only 7 people watching. You guys are missing out. Anybody that's not 7 people? So that's what, like 8 billion people minus 7? You guys are missing out because this is fantastic. Hey, Russ. Yeah, I'm back, man. I had to deal with some kids. Had to be a dad, but I'm back. yours are adults. That's cool, man. Mine are. My oldest is gonna be 6 this year. He's 5. And then my daughter is almost 4. She'll be 4 next month. And my other daughter is 2. So my wife came in the chat in the last live stream and summoned me to go rescue my daughter because she was crying. But yeah, now I'm back. I wasn't sure how long I was going to be, so I just ended it. But everything is smooth sailing now. And I was going to come out and just clean my airbrush. But I thought I would just finish these up anyway since I was out here. What's the harm? What's the harm, ladies and gentlemen? There is no harm. There's no harm in harming. In not harming. That'll do. What do you think? Got some dumpsters. There we go. Let's do these N scale ones too while we're at it. Go. Well, that's another thing, Derek, I never mentioned. If you're looking to get, or was it? No, it was Kevin. Sorry. Kevin, if you're looking to get an airbrush, get a 2-stage. You'll thank me later. A lot of cheaper ones are just a single stage. You push a button and air comes out. You don't have really any control over how much air or how much paint. But this is a 2-stage. So what happens is when you pull the trigger, when you push down, that's your first stage, and you just get air. You get as much air as you've set your regulator to. I mean, you can feather it if you're really careful, but you pretty much just set it to what you want, and then you go. But the thing that's nice is as you pull this trigger back, that pulls your needle back, and that's how much paint is now coming out. So you can really finesse. Like when you come in here, let me zoom in. Let me zoom in so you can see it. But on here now, I can just go full air. I'm not worried. I can just point it right at it. I know I'm pointing right at it. And then as I feather in the paint, you'll start to see it show up. You can just ever so slightly put the paint on. But it's more air than paint at this point because I'm barely pulling it back. Because I just want to dust it on there. I'm all sputtery because I need a new needle, but you just very slowly build it up until you've got even coverage. And then you can spin it around, do the other side, do the same thing. Yeah, and it got a bit of shadow from the black paint, but I'm not worried about that because, like I said, it's all just weathering. I might actually just dust a bit more on here from a distance. Why not? It's gonna look gross and dirty anyway. There you go. You got yourself a filthy dumpster. I'm gonna hit some from the underside as well, just because that really does look shadowy. There. I don't like how it was looking like a really sharp line coming down from that little slot for the truck. But we'll cover that all up when we paint it, when we graffiti it. And then last but not least, this is one I did. Okay, so here's a comparison for you. We got brush painted. You might not even be able to see it. Got this one is brush painted, and this one is airbrushed. So this is a much like more even coverage, and this one you can see the lines from the paintbrush, or at least I can anyway. I don't know about you guys, but the color's pretty close. This was a color I mixed with just a green that I had and some black, and then this is a color that I bought specifically for dumpsters, and I'm pretty happy with the match. Like it's pretty decent. I matched this just by memory of what I thought a dumpster looked like, and then I bought this one without having this one in my hand, and dumpster dance. Yeah, pretty thrilled with the outcome of these. Yeah, so Kevin, if you're looking for an airbrush, just make sure. Oops, you're not on camera. I'm zoomed way in still. Just make sure you get a dual stage. You'll appreciate that. And another thing too is you get what you pay for. So like I said, you want to get a decent one. Not just because of the quality, but also because if you ever needed to replace anything, it's going to be so much easier to find parts for a more recognizable name than if you were to just say, hey, I own a random Korean made, no shame to the Koreans, like just a random overseas offshore brand, Hobby Lobby brand or whatever, versus something that's well known. You're like, hey, I actually know this brand, and I need a needle, for example. Yeah, that's looking like a dumpster, ladies and gentlemen. An Iwata. Yeah, this is an Iwata. This is the Iwata HPB. And it's funny that I said don't get a Korean made. This is made in Japan. So it's not like I'm saying like, oh, get an American made, America. I'm just saying like get something that's well known. Get something that people know about. If you've heard the name before in your circles of watching hobby stuff on YouTube, well then maybe that's a good brand. But yeah, that's the 6 dumpsters. Is it 6? It's 5 in cement scale, whatever. I don't want to stop. I'm having fun. Could paint my box car. It's not the best print. And it's not cured 100%, but why not? Do I have like a boxcar brown? I don't even know. I'm just having fun airbrushing. I haven't airbrushed miniatures in a while. Just stuff at work. That's totally different. Jeez, I'm liking this. This is fun. That's what I'll do. I'm going to clean this airbrush out and I'm going to finish these, do a bit of graffiti and some weathering and stuff. That's what I'll do. I also, a while back, printed a shipping container in N scale. I'm happy with it. Like, if you compare it to, that's a store-bought, that's a print. They look really good. The only problem is I didn't have enough supports in one spot, and so if you look at it, it's kind of got a weird bit of a rockiness to it. But when you put it in a well car, I'll probably still use it. I don't know. When you put it in a well car and then put a real one on top, who's gonna know? Obviously you gotta paint it, but who's gonna know? And it because it's actually like solid resin, it actually weighs down your well cars nicely. Because you get that solid chunk on the bottom, and then the store-bought one is hollow on top, and it's kind of balances out your car nicely. The N scale looks really small near the other ones. Yeah, that happens. You're gonna get some of that. Okay, let's pull this guy apart. Once again, I gotta get one of those proper. So, Russ, do you do airbrushing? Oh, obviously you do. You said you have a. Dual stage. You have one of those little chamber pot things to clean it. You have one of those little chamber pot things. You know the ones I'm talking about that you just stick your airbrush in to clean it out. Hi, Derek. Thought you were here the whole time, man. No? You weren't here the whole time? Come on, man. Thought you were here the whole time. I'm about to start phase 3 of this endeavor. We saw the print. Well, we saw a representation of the print. Technically, you saw the print the other night on my live stream because the dumpsters I painted just now were the ones that I printed during my Thursday night live stream. So you saw my print. You saw me paint them. Now it's time to do a bit of graffiti. So why not? So what I'm thinking, here's how I'm gonna do the dumpsters moving forward. You guys are the inside scoop. I'm gonna sell them in a 4-pack. I'm gonna do one that's lightly weathered, one that's a little bit more, one that is maybe spray painted with like a no parking or no dumping, like hand painted sign. I've seen that done before. And then one that is graffitied heavily. Not heavily, but you know what I mean. Like maybe a throw up and a couple tags and stuff like that. And I'll sell that as a 4-pack on my Etsy store. So what I want to do tonight is just do a bit of a prototype and maybe use them to my... maybe use them to, you know, take my photos for my Etsy store, stuff like that. So, yeah. Let me see here. This one will be my light weathering. This one I'll do some tags. I guess I pretty much have them in order. So light weathering, tags, no dumping, and graffiti. Let's do that. And I also found, well, you were here for that, I'm sure, but I found these inks. Artist inks. I wonder if they work with my calligraphy pen. I also don't know how old they are. I've had them for years. I don't even know when I got these. But if these work, oh, we're laughing. If these work, then I will be impressed. But let's do what we know first. And let's do a tag. Yeah, for sure, Kevin. That's what I was planning on doing. This calligraphy pen is like gold. I love it. I almost shouldn't have told you guys my secret. Like, how does he get such fine lines? It's amazing. This guy's a miracle worker. I don't know how he does it. So let's do this one first. Can you guys even see what I'm up against here? I know this is not my typical format. I'm sorry, guys. It's coming out kind of thin. I think because I had this thing sitting in thinner to clean it. So it's coming out really, really thin. That's more like it. Okay, so let's do that again. Do a tag there, do a tag over here. Yeah, I know that's kind of hard to see, but you're going to be looking at it on a layout from a distance anyway, right? Do another one here. There we go. And then we'll do this one here. Can you guys see it all? Probably not, eh? There we go. Now I gotta hold it way up here. It's awkward. I can't do that. I can't hold it up for you guys to see. Sorry. There we go. No dumping. I'll probably toss a couple tags on that one too. I want to try the red actually. Let's try it. I've had these inks for decades. I actually used to use them in my airbrush. Ink through airbrush is pretty awesome stuff because it's super thin, nice and transparent. Yeah, red ink and a calligraphy pen. Sick. Look at that. That's finer than you could ever get with a fine tip marker. I love it. Let's put another one on this one. Yes. Yeah. Oh, man. I'm thrilled with that. What other colors do we have? I wish there was a white. That would be awesome. But no, I have black, blue, green. What is this one? This one. Oh, burnt umber. That could come in handy with an airbrush. Burnt umber. Oh, that one is pretty spent. Let's use this yellow one. Oof. The little eyedropper got stuck. It's like sealed shut. There we go. That's the other nice thing about these ones is they come with a little eyedropper and it's already thin enough to go through your airbrush. So you just use your little eyedropper and fill up your airbrush cup. And then Uncle Bob. Let's see what I can do with this. Not getting anything out yet. Might need to shake a little more. I don't know. Do you need to shake ink? I think you do. Oh, that's what I probably need to do is clean the pen. It's kind of gross. Well, you're still with me. Anyone still here? Jeez, I guess I should have wore gloves. Because I'm turning into the Hulk. Oh well. I think you guys will get over it. Ooh, that was messy. And there's still some red in this. But do you think I care? It's gonna be orange. That's fine. This is really thin. I mean, it works. It's very subtle because it's so thin. But that's fine. You see that from a distance on a layout. I think it'll work. Yeah, man. You're green with envy. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking this, man. This is looking awesome. Okay, so let's do some graffiti on the other one. What's up, Heath? Yeah, I had to cut it short on the last one because I had to go be a dad. But then when I came out to clean my airbrush, I figured I'd just hop back on and finish these up. All right, let's do some graffiti. Where's a pencil that's not being used as a dumpster holder? Here's one. Might not be a dumpster fire, but these dumpsters are fire. What? Yeah, that's what I want to do right there. I'll do this one here. I've done this one before. Actually, I'll just do that. Hey, James. Yeah, man, I'm in the zone and I didn't want to stop. There we go. That's my base coat. With the camera like this, I'm literally just using my iPad, which is not normal for me, but it's hard to show you what I'm doing while I'm doing it. So I'm just going to have to do it and then hold it up for you. I hope that's okay. And then let's do this one. I get this one to wake up and draw thin. Yeah, that'll work. There we go. Just a little throw up outline of one letter here. It's like Buddy got caught and had to run. All right. And then we'll do, while I wait for that background color to dry, let's do more tagging. Oh, we got some people popping in. Hey, Happy Valley. Hey, Floyd. What's going on, guys? I'm just painting some HO scale dumpsters this evening. Trying some new things, trying some old things, and a partridge in a pear tree. This is sick. There we go. Can you guys see that okay? That's looking like something. I want to do another red one on this one because I like how this is looking. There we go. I really got to get some white. White calligraphy ink would be unstoppable. Are they mini prints? No, they're mine. I printed them myself. I'm selling them. This is my little operation. These are going to be available on my Etsy store. Okay. I will say I like having the eyedropper on the ink because you can just load up the pen with the ink one time and it just holds it. I think my next set of inks I'm going to make sure I get the eyedropper. I didn't think I needed it, but I see its value now. I wish I had another eyedropper. I'd just use it to fill this up. There we go. Sorry, I know you guys can't see this. I'll show you in a second. It's my new way of doing things. I just do it off camera so you guys can't see it. I think I didn't wait long enough. This is not fully dry. But I couldn't wait. It looks too good. I'm thrilled with the outcome. If I planned ahead, I would have actually had proper camera angles and stuff. You know how it is. But we're breaking the rules today. Yeah, there it is. That's what that looks like. That's what that looks like. But I am going to end it after this one because I did have other plans this evening. I just got on the roll. You know how it goes sometimes? My friend Phil in London is doing all the custom 3D printing for my bridge, which he shipped today. That's awesome, man. London, England, or London, Canada? Can't wait to see what you get. Yeah. I'm just going to weather these real quick. And then I'm going to call it for the night. But James, man, you got friends all over the place, eh? Every 5 minutes, there's someone else talking about, oh, James from Dundas Junction. He's a super cool guy. If you guys don't know about James, you best learn about James. James is cool. Him and Trackside Mike every single Monday without fail. Holiday, no holiday, doesn't matter. They take turns every single Monday. So if you want to watch a live stream on a Monday, just do that. There you go. Let's weather these. I'm not going to do a ton of weathering. I just want to do a little bit. Make them look a little used, a little dirty, a little rusty. And then that'll be that. Let me close this ink before I forget. Because you got to remember, we're about to time travel tonight. And I don't know, I'm going to lose sleep, which sucks. And I want to take advantage of my evening while I still have it. Let's do a bit of rust. That is a lot of rust. Got to dial that back a bit. Eraser. Sorry, no, I'm off camera. I'm literally just erasing everything that I just did, because pencil eraser takes off weathering powder nicely. Doesn't get it all, but gives you a nice starting point again. Because I feel like I did that a little too heavy. I think just the way that the surface is and the way that the paint is, it was reacting a little more than I wanted it to. I almost want to just let the powder do its thing on this. I think that's what I'll do. Yeah, that looks like, whoops, that looks like a dumpster with a bit of weathering on it. That'll be that one. Not a ton of weathering on it. Not any graffiti, just looking gross. Just looking gross, that's all. I am going to weather the roof as well. Or the lid. I guess it's not a roof, it's a lid. This is an experiment. Let me try it on this one first. Yeah, because that's the thing. This gray, for some reason, or this, not gray, this black comes out white. Look at that. Why does it do that? It's not black. It says it's black, but it's not. It's really frustrating. Should be black. Black is black. White is white. Gray is gray. Green is green. But this is gray, and it looks gray. But I don't want black. Or I don't want gray, rather. I want actual black. So I'm just going to not use any black powder. And this one I'll have to just fix later. That's fine. I'll fix it later. Have I decided on a price for these? Tossing it around a little bit. What do you use for the rust? I use AIM weathering powder. As far as price goes, I'm still tossing the idea around. What I'm gonna do though is, this is kind of what I'm showing you. I'm doing a 4-pack, so I'm gonna do weathered. They'll all be weathered, but I'll do one that's not touched by graffiti, one that has a few tags on it and nothing else, one that has maybe a couple tags and says something like no dumping or no parking, things like that, or maybe just 2 that are tagged, I don't know, and then one with some actual graffiti on it. And that'll be my 4-pack. And I'm trying to decide how much I'm going to actually sell it for based on how much time it's taking me. Not just how much time it takes, but how much time I can dial it down to. And like obviously, and then like time and material and all of that stuff. And then I have to also compete with like what would the average person actually pay for a dumpster? Because technically it's something that's just going to fall into the background. It's something that you could just buy a dumpster and paint it yourself if you wanted. Like, this is kind of a luxury item, you know what I mean? But yeah, like if you guys have a suggestion, like this is my little 11 people focus group. What would you guys pay for a 4-pack of these dumpsters? Just out of curiosity. I have an idea in mind. I'm not going to say it out loud just yet. But what would you guys pay for these? Just curious. This is the one with tags now. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that looks cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna sell just the prints. I'm gonna sell them as you see them here. Because I'm not gonna be a mini prints. I'm not gonna be like a Shapeways or anything like that. I'm a guy that does graffiti and weathering. So my whole purpose of printing them is not to be a guy that sells prints, but a guy that sells graffiti. So I wouldn't just print them and sell them. I wouldn't just sell my STL files so that you can print it yourself, you know? Like that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to get a little bit more realism on your layout. And if that means selling you something that's graffitied, then cool. If that means painting something that's yours, then cool. But I'm not in the business of printing and selling just undecorated. There's the no dumping one. Pretty straightforward weathering job. But you stick that in an alleyway, or you stick it outside of a loading dock or something, and it's really gonna pop. I do eventually want to do some that are open, and also some that are stuffed full of trash. Like, you know when you see them where like the lid is half closed, they can't get it any more closed because it's heaping full of garbage. I want to do some like that as well, and then just kind of like have a bit of a jumbled up mix. But I would still sell them in like a 4-pack or something reasonable. Because just the effort to ship one dumpster, it doesn't seem worth it to me. To like take a separate trip and go to the post office and package up one tiny little dumpster. I gotta make it at least something that's like worthwhile to ship, you know? Yeah, man. I'm liking those. I'm going to dull coat them, and then I'm going to call it. I haven't thought about any bigger quantities. I mean, I probably could. But, yeah. James, definitely. The printing is I mean, it's not particularly easy. It has its moments. But, like I said, I'm not here to compete with Mini Prints or with Shapeways or any of these guys that print and sell. I should have spread these out more. The more intricate stuff I do, like these dumpsters and things, the more I want to actually use my airbrush to clear coat. Oh, man. Yeah, man. That's the 4-pack. That's what I have in mind to, I'm not trying to only go live to promote my Etsy store, I swear. But it's something I'm working on, so I figured I'd talk about it. Yeah. So this is just, let me get something I can hold these with so you can see them, because I do have to end it. Here we go. Let's set this up in front of the camera so you guys can actually see it. There we go. Can you guys see that okay? Here we have presenting the 4-pack of dumpsters. We have weathered. We have tagged. We also have, they're still wet. We also have the no dumping and tagged special. And, of course, some graffiti. There you go. That's a 4-pack of dumpsters right there. And on that lovely note, I am going to end it. Thank you guys so much for putting up with me this evening. Both live streams. If you missed the other one, be prepared to stare at a 3D printer for 3 hours. But hey, man, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Until next time, remember, they make it like that.